Hi guys, my name is Simnonymous and this is my first SimCity 2013 video. I did not play SimCity 2013 because, as we all know, it was bad. But now there are a lot of mods available, and thanks to Project Orion, there are enlarged maps available. So this video is going to be to talk about how to note what your expanded map boundaries are, and then in the following video, I'll talk a little bit about how your data map relates to the expanded boundaries. So I'd like to thank all the modders at Project Orion who are responsible for the expanded maps that are now available. Wonderful, wonderful work. And in fact, I'd like to thank all modders because there are a number of mods that are very, very useful in SimCity. And I'd like to thank Skystorm who put together a mod pack, which I have taken advantage of as I now play the game, thanks to all the mods. Okay, so I've claimed a city in this region. I turned on the map boundaries. They're on by default, but I had them switched off. So you can now see the original map. The first time you come into the city, you're going to have your original map. So what I'm going to do is mark the boundaries of the original map, and then we'll get out of the city again. So I'm going to use dirt roads to mark the boundaries just along this dotted line. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have marked the boundary line of my city just using a dirt road. The reason for that is that your city boundary is going to disappear, so you won't be able to see it until later. Now, there's one other important thing when you're doing this. You want to take a look at the cost of your road along one edge of your city, okay? Now, to do that, as you're marking out the road, you just take a look at the simoleon symbol there. So I did that and noted that one boundary of the city was $4,902. No, that's wrong. It was $4,002 even. I'm going to double check that. But then once you're done with marking the boundaries of your city, in order to enlarge the map and activate some of the mods, you need to A, save the city, B, completely exit the game, and then C, re-enter the city. So I'm going to save, exit, and then come back, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, we've returned to the region. Now, if you'll notice, there is a new boundary marked along here uh, in which the original city boundaries are in the center of that. That is not the accurate growth boundary for the new expanded map. So I'm going to go to Settings, Gameplay. I'm going to turn off the city boundary. I don't know if it's going to get rid of that right away. I think it did. And then resume the game. So that turned that off because otherwise it's just distracting. Now, the new extended boundaries on every map that I've seen go to the north and the east. I've heard that some go south and west, but that hasn't been my experience yet. So to check your map directions, all you have to do is right click, and at your cursor you'll see north, and then east of course is to the right. So north is going to be in this direction and east is going to be in this direction. Those are going to be the expanded boundaries. Okay, so there are a couple ways to mark the expanded boundaries, but if you'll remember, we noted that the distance along one side of the original city was $4,002 or $4,005. The perimeter of your new city is going to double. So all I'm going to do is extend the dirt road out another 4,000 plus dollars to the north and to the east, and then I can box that. Okay, and there's a way to double check that as well, and I'll tell you that in a minute, but for now I'm just going to extend those roads and then I'll be back. Hey guys, this is just a little aside. It is kind of a crazy making thing, but maybe I'll get used to it. So I've noticed before that when you're working in your expanded map, the cursor on the screen and the cursor on the ground are not the same. So if you'll see the blue dot moving around, that's where the cursor is on the ground. Uh, and you can see where it's actually moving around on the map. So your cursor is going to be displaced, and that's just part of the adventure of working with this mod. Also, that blue dot on the ground sometimes disappears, and that's frustrating. But you know, there are certain disadvantages that come with modding, and we just have to live with them. So I'm going to get back to marking these boundaries. Be back in a sec. Okay, guys. So we're back, and I have marked the boundaries of the expanded city map. Now, this ends up being a little bit of an approximation because you get screwed up by things like the regional highways and cliffs and stuff like that. So there is a way to double check your corners. Before we do that, let me mention that uh, outside of the city proper, you need to use the regional streets. So if you go to the streets menu, you don't use the standard streets, you use regional streets, and you can tell because the icons include a region symbol. Okay, so I just used regional dirt roads out here. And now the area of the expanded city is 4 times the original. The perimeter is twice the original. Um, okay, so let me show you how to confirm the boundaries. And we're going to do that at the corners, okay? And it's easiest to do it at a corner where you have buildable space all around. So that's where we're going to go. So now we're looking at this, the corner of the expanded city. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a dirt road, and you can see again that cursor issue there. But it will snap to the corner. If you press shift, that'll limit you to the 8 directions. So I'm just going to expand the corner a little bit just in case I ran short when I ran the road out. And now what you're going to do is go to the RCI plop buildings. We're going to plop a big industrial building. So I'm going to go to high wealth, high industrial. Um, okay, so you can see where there are snap points on one side of the road. That's good. That means that we marked that boundary accurately because we cannot plop this outside the boundary of the expanded city. Okay, then we go out this way, and it looks like I marked that boundary a little bit farther out than it actually is. So I'm just going to drag this building as far as I can in that direction, and I'm going to plop it. Okay, so that marks the true corner of the expanded city here. So let's take a look at the next corner and see how that works. Okay, so like before, we're going to grab an industrial building and see. Now, you know, we already knew that that road to the north is just a little bit too far out, so I'm going to plop this as far north as I can, and then I can relay that road later. Now, we want to see, did we get this border along the east correct? So let's see if I can push it out along that roadway. I added that spur, just I couldn't extend the corner here because of the cliff. So I just added that spur, and no, it looks like we hit that one right. So we're going to plop that there. Maybe plop another one there just for grins. And then we're going to bulldoze this spur. And I'm not going to bother showing you the correction here. I will move that roadway in a little bit so that it's on the true corner. And that shows you how to mark the boundaries of your expanded city map. I'll double check, well, obviously this corner is right because that's part of the original one. And actually that corner is right. So you really only have to check 2 corners to double check your boundaries. So that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do another video that's going to show you how the data maps relate to your expanded city, because that seems to have confused a lot of people, including me. I think I have figured out the answers, thanks to some of the people contributing to the discussion over at Simtropolis. So stay tuned for that new video, and thanks for watching.